Hello fellow doll lovers, it's Janie. Welcome to another video on my channel. I am excited for this video, and it is one that I probably should have done at the very beginning of my channel, and I sort of did one kind of like it. You know, my very first video was like, welcome to my fabulous doll channel. It's really funny because it's really old and it makes me laugh every time I watch it. You guys should like totally check it out if you want to, and it's just really funny because it's just, it was many years ago, and I was a lot younger, obviously, because it was 3 years ago, and I've grown a lot in those years, hopefully. And I apologize for, you know, I am in Wisconsin at my grandma's house, as usual, around this time of year, but I am not down in the basement because the backdrop, the purple curtains that I usually use back down there, are back in Texas still, and we're getting ready to go to thrift stores, finally, in a couple of days, but we're going to look for some new curtains there, but I haven't gotten them yet, and you definitely don't want to see boxes and boxes of basement junk in the video. And if you guys come to my channel for like a super professional video with like Christmas lights in the background and lots of editing and like quality camera with really professional lighting and stuff, you've come to the wrong place. My channel is just me turning on a camera and talking about doll related things. And today I am going to be talking about, obviously from the title, is why I started a YouTube channel. And like I said, in the very first video I did was, I talked about what my channel was going to be about, but I didn't really actually talk about why I started it, what made me, want to have a YouTube channel. And I figured I should probably start doing that, and I'm going to do a sort of a series of videos on this. I think I'm going to call them Who Am I? And if you guys don't like the kind of videos where it's just like me talking about like myself and my experiences in my life and just me like talking to you, then like by all means you don't have to watch. You guys can go and watch, whatever it is you like, the restoration videos, the vlogs, the hauls, whatever it is that you guys like to watch. You don't have to watch every single video of mine that doesn't interest you. But this video is just basically going to be me talking about what made me decide to start a YouTube channel and why I started it and what, my goals were for the channel. And, this is sort of a very informal setting, and it's not a very professional video, like I said. It's just going to be me here talking. I don't have a script. I don't have anything. I'm just going to, share. But, that's sort of what my channel is anyways, and I'll get into that more later. Otherwise, I'll start going down rabbit trails, and this video will be really, really long. And I don't know about you guys, but if the person talking isn't interesting, then even like a 5-minute YouTube clip can feel like forever. So hopefully this will interest you guys, and it's not just some random teenage girl talking about things and it's boring and long. So I started my channel 3 years ago, like I said, and back then it was sort of the reason I started a channel was so that, not a lot of people around my age or older, even usually younger, people generally start phasing out of dolls like around 11 or so. Maybe like if they're like starting to be, like official like collectors, of like high-end type dolls, they're around 13. That's just the way I've seen it in my experience, but that was around that time. I was about like 13 or 14 years old, and people were starting to be like, aren't you a little too old for dolls? And I, didn't really have a lot of people who shared my love for dolls. It's a passion of mine. It's a hobby of mine. I love collecting dolls. And I sort of started the channel so that I, could interact and, talk with I could interact with other people who like dolls, that I could film a video and put it on YouTube, and then there's this whole doll community that I can share my stuff with, so that, I'm not alone. And yeah, I did get teased for, not, being done with dolls, that I still played with Barbies and everything like that, but, that was sort of why I ultimately started it. But after I saw how many of you guys there were out there, because I obviously knew from watching other like doll related YouTube videos that there is like a doll community, out there, and, that was really comforting to see, so that I wasn't all alone in the world with my hordes of Barbies. But, it was really nice. And then my goal sort of started transitioning to, instead of it being more about me and like proving to myself that there were other people out there who liked dolls and that, I wasn't weird, it's, you know, showing you guys that there are people like you and like me out there that love collecting dolls. Not only are there not a lot of like doll collectors, like Barbie doll collectors, fashion doll collectors is the more broad term in the world. There are very few who are around my age. And I find that I get, you know, sometimes when I go to thrift stores, I get some, you know, some judgmental looks, especially if I'm vlogging, like, because I'm holding my camera and, like, piling, you know, getting a bunch of dolls. And, you know, there's hardly anyone out there like that. So, one, I never really grew up with, especially as I got older around that time. I didn't really have a lot of friends who liked dolls, and I didn't really understand it. So back then I sort of made the YouTube channel for myself, you know, so that I could get a channel and I could share videos with other, you know, doll collectors, people who were like me in the fact that they liked to collect dolls. And sort of now it's grown into, you know, showing other people that, you know, the people who are watching these videos, to showing you guys that there are other people out here like you and like me who like collecting dolls. And everybody's a little bit different in their doll collecting. Some people like to just straight up only collect like Barbies. Some people only like the vintage Barbies, like up until like the 90s. Some people really like collecting dolls only in box, whereas my collection is like 90% used. And pretty much the 10% that is not used is like Ever After High dolls. I bought a lot of Ever After High dolls new in box because they were coming out at that point, and I got a lot of them, you know, in the box. And also gifts from like my family, and, you know, some of my friends get me dolls for like Christmas presents and stuff like that. And, you know, gifts from my parents and from my other family members. I get box dolls from them. But I hardly have, and I unbox all my dolls too. I don't keep them in box. I do have 14 like 90s Barbies that I have boxed. Because they were gifted to me by a relative who gave them to me boxed, and they're like kind of special. So I'm going to keep them that way for a little while. I don't know if I'm ever going to unbox them. We'll see. But all of my other dolls are unboxed. But people all over the world like to collect dolls. Like, I've seen some people in the comments that have told me that they're from like Germany and from like Brazil and from like all these really cool places. And I got us like subscriber package from Australia. So we are everywhere. And I at first started that video to sort of like, so that I wouldn't be alone in collecting my dolls, so that when I got a haul, I could have somebody to share my excitement with. Like, you know, whoa, I just found like a bunch of Monster High dolls at a thrift store. Like, I'm gonna post this video so that other people can see it and like be excited for me that I found like so many awesome dolls. But now it's more of like, you know, there's people like me out there, and also dolls can genuinely spread a lot of joy. That's sort of why I got into collecting dolls. If you're interested in a video of like why I started collecting dolls, let me know in the comments. But, you know, dolls genuinely spread joy to me. They make me happy, and, you know, that's obviously, hopefully, why you guys collect too, is because there's some part of them, whether it's for sentimental reasons or whether you just like dolls in general, that bring you joy, that make you happy. That's generally why people do things, is because it makes them happy. And I sort of wanted to like share that with other people. And so my channel isn't really like very fancy or very, you know, I don't have a ton of subscribers, and that's not what I'm doing it for. I'm not doing it for the likes or for the comments or for the subscriptions. You know, it'd be great, you know, to have a bunch of subscribers, but that's genuinely not what I'm aiming for. I just want to share my videos with other doll collectors and, I don't know, maybe spread a little bit of joy to show them that there are teenagers out there who still collect dolls, who still, like, just go forward, you know, shamelessly, you know, collecting thousands of Barbies, because I have, like, 1,600 or something like that. And, you know, there are more people out there, and, you know, my videos generally are just like me buying, you know, dolls and, you know, restoring them, and that's really great too. But I think it's important to clarify that my, you know, I don't see my collection just as how many I have, or, you know, getting more. Like, all the dolls that I have, I really appreciate and I really love for individual reasons for every doll. And you sort of saw that in my collection videos for my Barbies, where, you know, I sort of told you guys about like certain dolls that have like certain special sentimental value to me. But I am very appreciative of the dolls I have, and it doesn't really matter how many dolls you have. All it matters is that you could have 1,000 dolls and you can just see them as like a mass and not really care about any of them. Like, if they all died in a fire, the thing that you'd be sad about is I had so many, you know, instead of being like, you know, you can have only 20 and each of them means something to you. You can only have one, and if that doll means something to you, if you bought it because even if you just thought that their face was pretty, as long as your dolls, like, you know, it's not really about the quantity, it's about, you know, what each one means to you. Like, every doll I buy for a purpose. Sometimes I buy them because, like, you know, I love ballerina dolls because I do ballet and I want it to be my professional career. So I buy, like, ballerina dolls because it reminds me of myself. You know, it's like they're a ballerina, I'm a ballerina, and I really like that. I buy dolls from, like, movies that I like or things like that. You know, I've bought a lot of dolls from, like, movies and stuff. My parents bought me dolls from the Star Wars movies, and I collect those. And then sometimes I just buy dolls because I like their face molds. I like their faces. Like, right here, I have a doll that I bought just because I thought she was interesting. Excuse the fact that she's naked. I have not fixed up this doll yet. She's one from home. But I bought her, even though she's really basic. She is a, like, slim box basic Barbie. But I bought her because I thought that her makeup was cool. And I'm sorry it's really dark, but I really loved her makeup and I thought that she was pretty, so I bought her. Like, I didn't buy her just because, like, oh, here's a Barbie. If I buy this one, then I'll have 1,676 dolls. Perfect. Okay. And then it's just like, I don't buy them to get more. I buy them because I like them. Because a lot of people have actually commented and said that, like, I've inspired them. Like, I don't know how I could do anything like that. Like, it's literally just me being me, like, showing off my, you know, showing dolls, going thrifting, stuff like that. But I've gotten quite a few people, like, tell me that I've inspired them to start collecting again and, like, to break their dolls out of the attic and, like, start fixing them and then, like, buying more dolls. And, like, that makes me really happy that you guys have decided to embrace that part of who you are and start collecting dolls again, because I feel like that is something that's, like, you know, going against social norms, I guess. Like, it's not obviously that big of a deal, but, like, for my experiences, like, even now, when I have friends over to my house who don't know that I collect dolls, and they step in and they see, like, my, like, shelves and shelves of dolls, they're like, aren't you old to be, like, playing with dolls? Or, like, doesn't that creep you out, having all those faces watching you? And I'm like, no, I obviously wouldn't have all of them if I didn't love them, or if I thought that I was too old, or if I, you know, thought that they were creepy. And, you know, back then I was sort of, like, warning people, like, before they come over, I'm like, just so you know, I'm, like, a doll collector. I collect Barbie dolls. And, you know, I'd sort of, like, mentally prepare myself and them so that when they come over, I don't have to have that, you know, where they look around and they're like, okay then. And I sort of feel like it makes people think that I'm immature, that I'm, I'm still a kid who likes to play with dolls. And while that is true, that does not say anything about my intelligence or my maturity. Like, anyone can collect dolls, whether they're 80 years old or they're 3 or they're 17 like me. Anyone can collect dolls. And I sort of, you know, once you guys, the whole doll community sort of, like, showed me all of these things that, you know, that I'm not too old and stuff like that, because there are people out there like you who collect dolls. You know, I've starting to want to show people that you guys aren't alone either. There's people like me out there who have dealt with probably a lot of the same things. Even, like, I've had some, like, guy collectors be like, yeah, I get a lot of judgment and I get a lot of, like, you know, labels put on me for, you know, collecting dolls, even just because I'm a guy. And it's like, you can collect whatever you want. If you like dolls, then you collect dolls. And it's really nice to, like, see that. And I was sort of wanting to show that to all of you guys, because I have seen people from around the world who collect dolls like me and like you. Like, I've seen people in the comments say that they're from Germany, that they're from, I've got a subscriber package from Australia, someone from Brazil said something. It's like, I have people from all over the place who really like to collect dolls, and we're all the same in that way. We're obviously all, you know, different people, but that's something that sort of unites us. That's something that's all makes us, you know, similar. And it's sort of something that sets us apart. We're unique. We like doing things that a lot of people, you know, that most people don't really like doing once they reach a certain age. And with the whole, you know, like, COPPA YouTube thing, it's kind of hard because I have to say that my kids aren't kid-friendly. Otherwise, you know, you guys won't be able to comment on my videos. A lot of things will be restricted, which is kind of sad, because a lot of my, like, I know a lot of, like, younger children who collect dolls, And a lot of them used to watch my videos, and then they say that when they grow up, they want to collect dolls because they still like them after they've seen my videos, which is really good because I want to inspire young girls to think that, oh yeah, once they reach a certain age, they don't have to stop collecting. If they reach 11 years old or 13 years old, they don't have to automatically just stop doing something that they like. And I'm kind of sad that, you know, kids can't really watch my videos anymore, because if I post them as kid friendly, then the comments will be turned off and a lot of things like that will happen. And ultimately, you know, my channel is just about, you know, me and my dolls. I go thrifting, I fix up the dolls that I find, you know, and I want to show you guys my collection and dolls that mean a lot to me. And I feel like these types of videos are kind of important if you guys are interested in, you know, like who I am and my experiences about dolls, you know, because they're all obviously going to be like doll related. I'm thinking about doing one where you can meet my family though, if you guys are interested in meeting my mom, dad, and brother. I would like to film sort of like those kind of videos, but that's ultimately what my channel is about. It's not really about, you know, fancy lighting and lots of editing and, you know, stuff like that. It's just me turning on the camera and then sharing my experiences and my ups and downs and highs and lows and the joys of doll collecting. And I have gotten some, like, comments in, you know, some nasty comments being like, your videos suck, you just sit here and you talk, you don't do anything, you know, all you do is just buy dolls, you have too many dolls, you're too old for dolls, you know, stuff like that. I have those sorts of people who, you know, spread their negativity and, you know, comment those things, and I'm kind of a people pleaser, so I used to try and, like, comment back and be like, oh, well, you know, I don't think so, I think that you know, and stuff like that, but I've recently just decided to ignore those comments and delete them, because, as you guys know, the way negativity works is that if somebody shares something negative with one person, even though they just intend their negative comment or their negativity to be for that one person, anyone who reads it, you know, reads all of that, and the negativity sort of passes on to them as well. And I want my channel to be a happy place, obviously. I want my channel to be a place where people can feel safe to just come and chill out and watch videos about dolls, and, you know, seeing somebody who loves dolls just as much as they do, and, you know, do all the things that they like to do with dolls. So those comments, I do get those, and just like anyone else, they're not nice. I don't feel good when I read them, but I obviously, it's taken time because I am a very big, you know, like a people pleaser. It's taken time, but I've obviously learned to just, like, brush it off and know that what they're saying is not true, that I'm not too old, that I'm not immature, that I'm not dumb and stupid for liking dolls, you know. So that's something that I want you guys to know too. You guys aren't dumb, you're not stupid, whether you're a guy, you're a girl, whether you're old, young, in the middle, it doesn't matter. If you like dolls, then collect to your heart's content. If you like playing with dolls, then go for it, you know, go to town, play with dolls whenever you want. Like, it's just something that judgmental people who don't like people who are different, they tend to try and make you feel bad about it. But, you know, I know it's hard. I know it's hard because I have dealt with bullying and things like that. But as I've grown as a person, I do know that this incredibly cliche saying is true, that, you know, just try to ignore it and just focus on you and focusing on being the best person you can be. And obviously don't stoop to their level and bully them back and say mean and hateful things back, because nobody likes that either, because then you're just lowering yourself and bringing negativity upon yourself instead of just being like, no, I know who I am, I know what I like, and that's okay. So, you know, this video is sort of a rant. This is sort of, you know, it's not very organized. I've sort of gone on some rabbit trails, but ultimately what my channel is it's intended to show other people, you know, the joy of doll collecting, and that if you still like it, then you can absolutely go for it. And what's important is that you're doing what you love, you're doing something that makes you happy, you're doing something that gives you an outlet, it gives you something to do, maybe it means something to you, you know, things like that. You know, and I am not going to go into, you know, what dolls mean to me and why I started collecting them and why I like them. If you guys are interested in that sort of video, that's a video for another time. And ultimately, that's what I want, you know, people to take away from this video and my channel in general, that it's just a safe place where you can go and just, like, chill out and just watch a very unorganized and a very, you know, unprofessional video of just a girl who loves dolls and wants to share it with people. And you guys don't have to feel condemned, you guys don't have to feel awkward, you guys can just go and enjoy and be happy and watch dolls. And, you know, that's something I like to do. I love watching, you know, doll channels, you know, because it shows, you know, how people can love dolls just as much as I can, and they can be anywhere in the world. It doesn't really matter, you know. Like, I love a YouTube channel called April Lily. She's a doll collector. She lives in New Zealand, and, you know, that's very far away from the United States, and she still loves dolls just as much as I do, and, you know, it's really cool to see. And yes, I know this video is long, and I know it's, you know, very rambly, but I hope you guys sort of get a better understanding of why I, you know, do my channel. And, like, yeah, I obviously, you know, subscribers and stuff are great and all that stuff because it means that people are watching my videos and that I'm actually doing this for a purpose, but that's ultimately not what it's about. You know, I was very surprised when I got any subscribers at all besides, like, my parents and my close friends. Like, I didn't expect it. And right now I am at, like, 8K subscribers, which is a lot. Like, obviously it's not famous. I'm not My Froggy Stuff with millions of subscribers, but that's not what it's about. What it means is that those 2.8K people like my channel enough to watch it, and that it brings them some sort of joy, and it makes them feel happy in some way, enough for them to, like, subscribe and watch more of my videos, and that's ultimately what makes me happy. You know, it's not the views that makes me happy as far as the fact that I'm getting more views on my video. It means that more people are watching it and more people are being affected and being, you know, happy by watching it. And obviously, like, I take suggestions if there's something that, you know, I should do differently. I would love to hear anybody's ideas for new videos or things I can do to improve my old ones, and I wholeheartedly accept those. But, you know, negative comments about things, how I should just delete this channel and that nobody's gonna care and that, you know, like, I suck. You know, obviously those aren't something that I, you know, condone at all, and those aren't things that I like. And I want to keep my channel to be, like, a happy environment. So, you know, I delete those and things like that. But, you know, I hope these videos, you know, these types of videos, I think that the next one is going to be, you know, why I got into doll collecting, what makes me like dolls. I'm going to do that one next. Hopefully these videos are some sort of interesting to you. If they're not, if they're absolutely not, you can go ahead and be honest and put that in the comments. You know, that, like, you know, you're great, but, like, just, no, you're not good at motivational speaking. You should stop right now. But, yeah, that was sort of my video. I know it was really rambly. There was a lot of, like, stuff, and I hope that you got what I'm trying to say out of this video. You know, it's really hard to put into words how you feel inside as a sentiment. So hopefully I was able to put that across to you guys, but that is going to end this video because it's already kind of long just for me talking. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If, you know, you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you want to comment, comment. If you want to like it, you know, all that sort of stuff. You know, you can do it if you want to, but I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to do things to make you, you know, do something you don't want to do. If it's not something you're into, then that's absolutely fine. But, you know, the goal of my channel is, you know, for the people that do like it, is just to spread joy to them and, you know, show them the joys of, you know, being a doll collector. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!